that, just swapping out some bearings, because common with these things, the bearings start to go. No big deal. Doing a little checking here and there, and notice that all these are pushed out, and yeah. It's a good thing we're doing some work here, because that's not good either. Good thing we're on top of it. Well, that's interesting. Custom touches, I guess. Whew, this is a lot of work for nothing. Gotta take this off, drain the DEF, drain the diesel out of it, and of course, no matter how much you drain out, there's always more. Get the skid plate off, get this plate off, get that plate off, pull this out, disconnect the DEF stuff, get rid of the computer, got to disconnect the battery on the other side to get the computer off, because you don't want to do that, right? Then you got to pull this apart, and there's a dual tank, so you got that goes to the other tank, and then you got a little hose up here that goes to the other tank as well. Got to get that off. You got to get this apart before you can pull this out too, which is not fun because it's right underneath the cab, like way in there. So you got to squeeze your hands in there and then squeeze these tabs. Luckily they came off. Of course I'm gonna have to clean that up. Here's the rest of the DEF situation. All this has to be done, and I mean, it's a pain in the ass. Got a little jack under there, you can't see it. It's one of those ATV jacks, believe it or not. Actually works okay for this kind of stuff. But you gotta pull this all out. Pull it all out. You can see in here, got this rod, it has to come through, that has to come through, and that it has to come through in order to lay this all down. All for what? So I can inspect the park brake situation and get this out so I can look at it to see if the pads are any good. And the pads are kind of shot on this side. This side's okay, but this side's shot. All that work just to look at that. Ah, man. Yeah, good times doing some tractoring around here. This little bugger came in. Something not quite right. Didn't want to run. Didn't want to keep running. Oh, we did a bunch of tests. Some, pretty farmer testing we did. And yeah, turns out the fuel pump is shot. But in order to get to the fuel pump, that's got to come off. That's got to come off. A couple other things. There's a toolbox here. We took that off just to get in there. Holy smokes. Strip half the engine off just to get that little fuel pump in there. Pretty crazy. I find it weird that the pump failed. But, whatever. And you got this massive beast. Needs a turbo. We ran this one back in because we noticed there's a couple little problems with the sprayer. It's been winterized, but there seems to be a leak right there, so we're going to fix that leak. And not impressed. Other than that, that big beast is ready to go. Still waiting on a head for that. Massive trouble with finding a head for that. But, yeah. Things are looking up around here. We're getting things together. We got more coming. I just came to pick up the old work phone because I need to do a little bit of interneting. It's Saturday. Or no, it's Sunday today. Sunday. Hoping to have a little bit more time. I can play with this thing and get that engine in it. And I got to stop by J-Rides eventually. He says he's got a carburetor for me. So I'm going to stick a carburetor on here. I got a cap and rotor. Put this thing together. Put some fresh oil in it. And we're going to try starting this thing right where it is. So that'll be fun. But I got to get a little bit of time here. Like I said, it's Sunday. I'm going to be doing some computer stuff. It's like minus 30 Celsius out. So it's super cold. At least the sun's out. It's been really cold for the last few days. But yeah, pretty soon it's going to be my trip to Saskatchewan. I'm going to come hang out in Saskatoon for a bit. So yeah, well, either way, talk to y'all later.
What the hell are you doing?
Getting her girlfriend drunk.